Small planes are disappearing faster than anyone wants to admit. And it's not because people stopped loving aviation. There's a harsh truth behind the decline, and almost nobody is talking about it. From rising costs to aging fleets, pilot shortages, and a system that makes flying harder every year, the world of light aviation is slowly being squeezed out. In today's video, we're pulling back the curtain and breaking down exactly why small airplanes are dying, what's pushing them toward extinction, and why this matters for every current and future pilot. Small planes aren't disappearing overnight. They're fading slowly, year after year. And if you look closely, the signs have been around for a long time. Today, we're breaking down the harsh truth behind why small aircraft are dying off, a truth that almost nobody in the aviation world wants to admit. Let's start with the biggest and most painful reason. The cost of ownership has completely outgrown the average pilot. In the 1970s, owning a Cessna or Piper was considered achievable for a middle-class family. But today, hangar fees, insurance, fuel, annual inspections, and engine reserves can easily push a simple single-engine aircraft to $20,000 to $30,000 a year just to keep it flying. That's before any surprise maintenance, avionics upgrades, or AD compliance. For many retired or new pilots, the dream of ownership collapses the moment they see the real numbers. And when fewer people can afford small airplanes, fewer small airplanes survive. Another harsh truth: the fleet is getting old, and replacement just isn't happening. The average general aviation airplane is over 40 years old. Parts are harder to find. Mechanics with experience on older airframes are retiring, and upgrading a 1978 aircraft to modern avionics often costs more than the plane itself is worth. Manufacturers aren't building enough new planes to replace what's aging out. Production numbers are a fraction of what they were in the 60s and 70s. When an old Cessna or Piper reaches the end of its life, it's not being replaced. It's simply gone. And here's a tough one. Pilot demographics are collapsing. Each year, more pilots age out of flying than new pilots enter the system. Flying used to be a common, reachable hobby. Now it's expensive, complex, and extremely time-consuming to get into. Young people who might be interested are priced out long before they get their private pilot license. This shrinking pool means fewer buyers, fewer renters, fewer students. And as demand dries up, so does the fleet that depends on that demand to survive. We also have to talk about regulation. Not because safety isn't important, it absolutely is, but because regulation has made small aircraft ownership increasingly burdensome. ADS-B mandates, recurring inspections, airworthiness directives, paperwork, logbook requirements, and compliance with both national and local aviation authorities add layers of cost, stress, and delay. A plane can sit grounded for months because of a missing form, a delayed part, or a logbook discrepancy. For many pilots, these barriers feel overwhelming. But small planes aren't just dying in the air. They're dying in the airfields too. Small airports, once the backbone of general aviation, are disappearing. Land values rise, communities complain, and airport closures follow. Every time a small airport shuts down, dozens of planes are displaced. Some move, some get sold, some get scrapped. Without accessible, affordable airfields, small planes simply have nowhere to live. Then there's the brutal reality that modern life has changed. Most people today prefer convenience, speed, and simplicity. Small planes require planning, weather management, training, margins of safety, and a deep respect for risk. It's a lifestyle, and fewer people want that lifestyle. Combine that with increasing weather volatility, stronger winds, faster forming storms, heat waves, and many pilots simply fly less. Flying less leads to less proficiency, more maintenance issues, and eventually selling or abandoning the airplane altogether. Now let's talk technology. Not avionics, but alternatives. Drones, helicopters, ultralights, and emerging eVTOLs are capturing the imagination of new flyers. They're simpler, cheaper, and in some cases require no traditional license at all. When a new generation of potential pilots can experience flight without committing to private pilot training or owning a certified aircraft, small planes lose their cultural relevance. And we can't ignore the emotional truth. General aviation has lost its romantic appeal for the mainstream. There was a time when being a pilot meant freedom, exploration, adventure. Today, it's often associated with cost, risk, and complexity. The aviation world hasn't done a great job inspiring the next generation, and without passion driving the industry forward, small planes fade into nostalgia. Finally, the most uncomfortable truth of all, we are witnessing a slow, quiet extinction, not a sudden crash. There's no single villain. Instead, it's a combination of aging fleets, rising costs, regulatory weight, shrinking pilot communities, airport closures, and cultural shifts. All these pressures add up over decades. And every year, a few more planes are scrapped, a few more airports close, a few more pilots hang up their headsets. That's how small planes die, not with an explosion, not with an industry-wide collapse, but with a long, quiet fade into history as fewer people carry the torch forward.